You're watching Plus TV Africa, and this is Tea Time. Hello there, and welcome to the program, as usual. And on today's episode, we've got the biggest entertainment stories from around the globe. And by the end of the program, you would be absolutely current on all things entertainment. I'm Tokunbo Taiwo. Thanks for joining us. And as usual, my co-anchors are here to bring you the highlights and the lowdowns. My co-anchors Lakwe Banjo and Ife Oshunkeye. Hi, guys.
Hi, Ted.
What's up, Tokunbo?
Hi. On this morning's edition, we've got scoop in no particular order on Brody Jenner, Sophia, Richie, Benedict Cumberbatch, to mention a few. And later on, we'll be hearing from our in-house social media analyst, Buki November. And right now, we'll dive straight onto our first story, which is on Benedict Cumberbatch. The popular English actor has been hailed a hero for tackling muggers. So, what really happened?
Why are you laughing?
Okay. No, because I saw a meme that was really funny. They said it would have been cooler if he did that with the what's that movie he was in?
The Avengers.
No, not
The Avengers.
Doctor Strange with the Doctor Strange outfit, like it would have been cool.
Yeah,
and then I saw another meme that said the mugglers would have probably be like, "Oh Lord, it's him!" Like asking for, you can't have the bag. Okay, what actually happened was there was this food vendor, delivery that wrote a thank you message to the guy telling him, oh, he did well for them and all of that. So, but what hasn't been disclosed is the day the incidents happened. No one knows when.
Yeah, but what I really wanted to know was what happened. Did he attack the cyclist or the cyclist attack the mugger?
Yeah, according to the Uber driver that was driving him and his wife when it happened, it was like he knew what he was doing. He held one of them down while the Uber driver, like the action movies.
Well, he's probably been trained to do stuff like that.
Stuff like that.
He's probably going to be really good at it.
Okay. So you think it's training that brought this on, not self-defense classes from
probably
prior?
A mixture of all, because I reckon he probably does that anyway, because he acts in really like action films, a lot of like detective stuff. So I'm sure he's learned all the hits and stuff like that. So
and all of those things came in handy at the appropriate time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so basically he just reached out and helped this. From what I understand, that he reached out and helped this person that he didn't even know from a can of paint or anything like that. I'm beginning to think, why did he help though? Because some people would not have bothered, especially for someone like him who has a lot of accolades with a lot of movies to his name. Normally they would have been like, oh, that's not my business, I can't care less. Why do you think he reached out and acted? And
probably just his instinct, really. Like he probably just saw it and didn't want to allow that to happen right before his eyes. And also as well, I think all his roles that he acts in as well naturally are quite detective, investigator, helps, attacks, and that kind of thing. So it was almost like he was living his characters. So it was really interesting.
Okay.
And you have to get into character when you're making this movie. So I'm sure he got used to that type of life for a while making those movies, so yeah.
And I understand as well that the spokesperson, was supposed to say there was no comment whatsoever.
Yeah. I think that was very, very modest.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's not a big deal. I think it's just act of kindness. Being human, and I think he just did what he had to do. I think that's what most of us would do if we were in this case. You're saying somebody getting smashed with a bottle. So I think the first thing you would want to do is help the person if you can.
Not everyone, though.
Well, exactly, that
at
was
least
my
most
point.
people.
And
he's a celebrity as well.
He's a celebrity, and he was in a taxi.
That's what I was saying, that he has more to lose.
Yeah,
imagine
he does.
they recognize him and then they're like, give me your watch. I'm sure they will even gain more from the person they were.
Do you think they recognized him though?
Nah.
Yeah, because I think if they had recognized him, they would probably.
Oh, you should have seen the memes. The memes are so funny, like so funny. I'm sure Buki has something to say about that though.
But no, you have to really, really be into films for you to be able to notice Benedict Cumberbatch, and he's such an actor that he probably doesn't even look the same.
The same, true, except that because
to be honest, I know the guy. I had to see his face to know that. Oh, this dude we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know.
He's not a very popular face. Yeah. Even though he's such a good actor.
No, he's a popular face. It's not a very popular name, I guess.
Or that. Yeah. But the point is people won't have been able to recognize him.
All right, so people have been praising him as a hero. Do you think his actions justify the title?
I don't know about heroic, because a lot of people do that on a normal day anyway. But I think he's getting the title of hero because it's a celebrity that's putting their own life at risk. to help someone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
And apparently Delivery has sent an acknowledgement of some sort.
Yeah. Guys, can we please get the name right? It's Deliveroo.
Deliveroo. Thank you for correcting us. Deliveroo.
Deliveroo.
Yes, yeah. I know there was double O somewhere.
Yeah, Deliveroo.
Yes. Okay, the name of the company.
Yeah.
That's the name of the company. Deliver. I was wondering. I was like, come on, I've been saying delivery all my life, and you're telling me it's Deliveroo.
It's
like
Deliveroo.
Are you my English teacher?
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're going to say something regarding them making a statement, or what was it?
It was just like a thank you. No, a letter of gratitude saying, and they're calling him out, making it all colorful, like it was a hero.
They're going to use
and then they said something like every one of their staff, they're like heroes to them, and then they met another hero, something of sorts,
All right, then. Nice. We're going over now to our newsroom to hear more from our social media analyst, Buki November. So, Buki, over to you.
Hi, Tokumbo. And of course, Ife, I definitely saw the memes and they were hilarious. So the first time I saw this story online, I was scared. When I saw him trending, I said, God, is this another sexual harassment story again? What is going on, since that's what's trending right now? And then I go online and I read the story and I'm like, oh, this is so nice. And then as I was just about to leave Twitter, I see the comments and then I take a step back and I'm like, okay, hilarious, of course. So there were comments, several of them. Aside from the, oh, thank you for being such a hero kind of comments, we had the ones that were just stupidly hilarious. So we had people saying, oh, of course they expected him to be able to take down the muggers. Isn't he an Avenger? He's Dr. Strange, right? He wears a cape, so he should be able to take them down. And I'm like, dude, this was a movie. He's not that guy in real life. And then some other people were saying, oh, that of course he could take down the muggers because when they saw his high cheekbone and posh manners, they were like, yes, just take us. We give ourselves to your mercy. And I'm like, people. They were super hilarious. And I got a few comments here just for you. Let's check out the comments. So, for what it's worth, if I was stranded on a deserted island, I would definitely want Benedict to come save me. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Have you seen him? He's really cute. But that's aside the point. That's all from me, Tokumbo. Back to you.
All right then, Buki, thanks very much for shedding more light on that story. It's time for a quick break right now. When we return, we'll be telling you why Yemi Alade is in the headlines. We'll be right back.
Thinking of banking in Africa? Think Zenith. In today's fast-moving, fast-changing world, you need a financial partner that understands your unique expectations. A bank with presence in major financial centers across the world, with the enabling platform to facilitate seamlessly, whenever, wherever, however. A bank with best-in-class financial solutions from a superb combination of technology and human touch for easy, fast, and secure banking that creates real value. Turning dreams into reality is now in your hands. People, technology, service. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
Welcome back. You're watching Tea Time, the morning edition, right here on Plus TV. We're moving on to our next story now, which was mentioned earlier. It's on the Nigerian pop sensation Yemi Alade. The Afro-pop singer and songwriter was caught in a Twitter war with the Church of Satan. Okay, so what was this Twitter war about?
Okay, something crazy happened on Twitter. I think a fan asked Yemi that, oh, not our Yemi, calling Yemi, I miss Yemi.
You miss Yemi, don't you?
All right, so a fan asked Yemi when was the last time she had sex, and then she replied, I'm in love with Christ. I'm in love with Jesus. please leave. No, something like, please leave me alone. And then the way she spelled leave, like Leave, she spelled it as Live.
Right.
Then Church of Satan, random comments, right? Random topic, and they just wrote, leave spelled backward is evil. And I'm like, are they both dumb? Because she spelled leave wrong to start with. Then you guys want to comment, you didn't even correct her first. Then you now spelled a wrong spelling backwards for her. Like, so this is the case silly. Of the blind leads the blind. So it's just so crazy.
Like, I can't even wait for you to sort of put in your own opinion.
I just think it's silly. Like, she should have never responded to that comment in the first place, the Twitter comment. And I think it must be really difficult as a celebrity when you get caught in those kind of discussions on Twitter. You just feel so compelled to replying. But there was just no need for her to reply. And then they wouldn't have had to... Obviously, Church of Satan are just spamming her. And obviously, there was no need for that comment whatsoever. But
But you know what I even feel that are we even sure that this is the real Church of Satan? It could be just somebody that
though, no?
It was verified. Yeah, true that it was.
But who are these Church of Satan though? Because like I doubt very much if everyone seems to know that.
It's rumored that they're an American institution, not religious, but it was also rumored back then that Beyonce, Rihanna, the Jay-Z's, you know,
are all members?
The people that they claimed were part of the Illuminatis were members of the Church of Satan. So I don't know if that's the same Church of Satan or maybe another one, because I think if it's those ones, they are too big to be trolling Yemi Alade.
Exactly. Because I just thought, why even?
Yeah, it's so unnecessary. And also, it questions whether or not it's a real account. Because it's silly. Like, they're literally just trolls. Like, they're just a group of... And the name is obviously to draw attention. I just I don't know why she would even pay attention to that.
Exactly. Because my guess is that they'll probably pick on every celebrity that says something, you know, no matter how ridiculous it is. You know, they'll just come on and say, okay, this is what you said, blah, 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 and it's not tallying up, and this is a public platform. It's just like, no, that's not the way it works. Do you think her fans, though, will be disappointed at the way she reacted? Because like you were saying, she shouldn't have reacted. And then, so do you think fans will be disappointed that she reacted?
Her fans probably defend her, because that's what fans do. They'll find a justification for her behaviour anyway. And she's not usually quite like involved in social media spars and stuff. So yeah, no, I think her fans will be heavily in support of what she's done.
Okay.
I'm a fan, and I'm just disappointed she can't spell leave.
Yeah, that is poor. That is poor on her part.
But to be fair on her, you know, sometimes the mind plays tricks.
It happens.
Because, you know...
I know. But what the saddest part now is the American...
No, there's no excuse for spelling leave as a live.
No, it happens.
I was going to come to you on that, because I saw your reaction.
She probably said it in her head as,
that's what I'm saying. Exactly. And that's it wrongly. That's
and then you replied and then you spelled it backwards.
That's poor. That's poor.
No, that's so poor.
That's poor.
So can you guys forgive her for not spelling live right?
No.
You can't. What
she
about
needs
you?
to write open letter to us.
Yeah, and
we're trolling her this week. She would think we are the Church of Satan.
God. Exactly.
All right then. Up next, Lionel Richie's daughter, Sophia Richie, and her boyfriend, Scott Disick, are reported to have broken up days after a family vacation. So what was the reason for the breakup? Let me start with you, Lakwe.
Well, I don't know what the reason for the breakup was, but Scott has never really been a huge... Lionel Richie and the rest of his family have never really been a huge fan of Scott. They actually thought the whole relationship was just a fling, and the fact that
he's a phase in a life,
Okay.
And the fact that he's still heavily involved in the Kardashians, with the Kardashians and his kids, and she's a lot younger than him. So no one really ever believed that, you know, this relationship was going to last that long. And also people questioned his motives, which is fair. But now that they've broken up, I don't actually know what the reasons are. They probably won't tell us the real reason, but they've broken up now, so it is a bit of a scandal because what happens next for Scott?
Ife, what's your initial reaction regarding this breakup? Okay,
first thing I wanted to know was why would you guys break up after you went on vacation? So I did a little bit of research here and there. So she was in Wyoming. Is that the right pronunciation? Where Kanye West, Wyoming.
I don't know. I'm not American.
Okay. So it's spelled W-Y-O-M-I-N-G.
It must be Wyoming.
In case I get it wrong, please pronounce it right. Wyoming.
You know, Yemi Alade is going to come get you because you didn't
We're waiting.
pardon her for
Church
leave.
of Satan.
Church of Satan.
All right, then you were saying.
So Scott was in Wyoming at Kanye's album listening party, and apparently he was snuggled up with another chick, and so people saw that, and so she's actually leaving him because of his past, because he had issues with cheating. He had cheated on her in Miami before. That this came up again, and then she just felt like, okay, now it's time. This is the straw that just broke the camel.
Yeah, always a cheater. Once a cheater, always a cheater. And also, she looks a lot like...
Not in all cases.
In most cases.
Okay.
Do you think, because I think he's done this with... what's her name now?
Courtney, yeah.
And he's done this with the second girlfriend.
Did he cheat on Courtney?
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
He didn't.
He didn't.
Yeah?
He didn't cheat on... They broke up for other reasons.
Other reasons.
It wasn't because of cheating or infidelity.
So, but do you think he will change, though? Because he has, like, similar kinds of issues, you know, in his relationships where... It's up and down, up and down. It's just
I feel really sorry for Scott sometimes, though, because I feel like he's really, he feels very displaced. He's an only child from a very rich family. His parents died within a year of each other. He's always been kind of in the life and in the shadow of the Kardashians. Yeah. He's never really come to his own person. And so I feel really sorry for him. He's really troubled. He's a heavy alcoholic. And he hasn't really dealt with his issues. Yeah, no, it's
I
really...
think
he's one of those people. I think he's one of those people that fame really has a way of pulling them down. Like,
yeah, but
he can't handle the fame.
Is that what you were saying?
But he hasn't always been famous.
I feel about him.
He only became famous as a result of dating Courtney. Yeah, but before that, he was a rich spoiled kid. Like, he's a Jewish rich spoiled kid.
And I'm beginning to think that he's also making a point of dating people who have names. Why?
Well, yeah, because like... when you're in that circle, you only ever come into contact with people that are
like that, yeah.
Like that. And also, she looks like Kourtney Kardashian.
So you think this is just...
she was
I think he has a thing for girls like that.
Okay.
Yeah, he does.
All right, so those are his type then.
Yeah, that's his type.
All right then. Do you think that Sophia might have regretted the decision whatsoever?
Well, I don't know, actually, because I think she already knew his background and what he was like. Everyone saw that, because he's got like an open TV. Everyone can see what his life is like. Yeah. So surely she should have known. Also, I don't know if maturity or like age plays a factor in this. She's quite young. She could be stupidly in love and thinks that, he's going to stick around for a bit longer.
I think the age would be a bit of a factor for them, because imagine she has to speak in a relation. You probably look at her like, look at this kid. You get that kind of thing. You would probably want to disrespect her. So I think she should just go find her age, man. Come on, look at me, girl.
Then. Still to come on Tea Time, revelatory stuff on Brody Jenner and Bishop Michael Bruce. That's all coming up right after this break.
You know, from day one, Glow makes life easier. They brought us unbelievable data packages and even an optic fiber cable to make sure we optimize. There are two things in our lives we depend on daily: communication and information, voice and data. Whether you sell, buy, learn, teach, serve, or lead, it really comes down to those two things: voice or data. Today's world is all about you. You want what you want, how you want it, and Glow delivers. That's why Glow is introducing Flexi, the freedom to use voice and data the way you like on every recharge. No plan, no hassle, easy.
Now, on every recharge, Glow Flexi automatically gives the freedom to use voice and data as you like. At the best rates in town, no plan, no hassle.
The grandmasters of data. Glow.
Welcome back. It's still tea time, and we're about to bring you the latest on Bishop Michael Bruce, who gave that address at the royal wedding. The bishop has delivered his blessing on Britain's Got Talent finale. Yes. So, do we know why he was selected to actually give his blessing? Because there's so many other bishops, in fact, there's the Archbishop of Canterbury, so I'm like, why on earth did they select him to give the blessing?
Because he's sensational, and everyone remembers him from the royal wedding, which wasn't that long ago. So it only makes sense to bring somebody that's in everyone's minds. And also, they're going to just use him as a circus clown now. Right. No, they think every time... No, it's true. It's true, though. It's true, because every time they bring him out, they're going to think he's going to be really, stereotypical black preacher, which is a bit annoying.
We're going to get onto his address later. Let me hear from Ife what his initial reactions are.
I was like, why this guy again? But I know, you know me with my research now. I went into the lab again.
You went to dig deep.
And then I dug something up again. So apparently there was this wax statue of Meghan and Harry.
Okay.
Yeah, made by Madame
Two Swords.
Yeah, so it was right there. So I just figured maybe since they wanted Meghan and Harry to be at the event, so maybe they just figured, okay, let's get the pastor to be on.
Yeah, that married them.
So yeah, that might
True,
be
that could be a good point, but it's still sensationalizing.
Yeah, like Sacco's clown, right?
Yeah. Why do you find that so funny?
So back to his address, though. At the royal wedding, they said it was like 13 minutes, 37 seconds. So some are saying just like 14 minutes. Yeah. So this address, do we know how long it was?
No, it was pre-recorded. It was really short, just welcoming people to the show, thanking the contestants for their talents and just a regular blessing the show before it goes on. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was pretty short.
All right. And has anyone of this nature ever given the blessing for the Britain's Got Talent?
This is why I said it's sensationalizing. It doesn't make any sense. Why would why would a bishop come all the way from America and from Chicago and congratulate people that won Britain's Got Talent? It's got nothing to do with religion. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with religion. It's got nothing to do. This is how they all get trapped in that. Because he doesn't fit the bill. It doesn't make any sense.
So how are people reacting to this? If let me come to you on that. What are people saying regarding the bishop that, gave the address at the royal
wedding? A lot of
wedding?
people are just wondering the same thing we are wondering, like, why was it chosen? Why was it called to
It's not even like a gospel choir one.
It's not like a gospel competition and they're trying to get the choir. So what was the point? So that's why I had to put 1 and 2 together and just, okay, let's give them a benefit of a doubt. Maybe it's because of Meghan and Harry's wax statue that was there, I guess.
Maybe.
Okay.
Just maybe.
Blackbird, do you have any final thoughts on this before we move on to our next story?
No, it's just cultural appropriation.
Okay, then. Our final story is on Brody Jenner. A report coming to us say Brody recently got married and the Kardashian-Jenners totally skipped the event. I thought that was a bit harsh for all of them. Yeah, not to. At least they could have said, okay, one person should go and represent us.
Well, Brody Jenner is the son of Caitlyn, now Caitlyn Jenner. And they've always had like a really strange relationship. Brody's always been really close with Kylie and Kendall, who are his half-sisters.
Yeah.
But then they all grew up together, like Kim, and they all lived under the same roof because they were all stepbrothers and sisters. But if you watch the show, which I, without guilt, do, you know that there's been a very interesting dynamic. So whenever like their dad and the mum, so that being Caitlyn Jenner and Kris Jenner, have an issue, the kids automatically take sides. Yeah. There's a bit of a division there. It's not a purely
cohesive kind of relationship.
Yeah, it's quite dysfunctional. Yeah. And Brody is quite outspoken about like the way he feels about certain things,
especially about Kris.
Yeah, about Kris. So probably that's why. But then it's weird because they've all been to all the Kardashian weddings.
Exactly.
So they might just have snubbed him, which isn't cool. Exactly. And they haven't really posted any pictures with them in a couple of years. And they're usually quite like close and friendly. So yeah, no, but quite interesting to see why no one showed up. Even
because I
Kylie.
thought even if the Kardashians didn't turn up,
the
Jenners, exactly.
Even before the wedding, he released a statement that he hasn't gotten a report. He sent an invitation to his half-sisters and he didn't get any response from them. But he said he got response from the now Caitlyn, right? Yeah, that he got response from Caitlyn, but he didn't disclose what the response was. So she was supposed to be there. But I think this weekend she was in Austria.
I can't believe you're referring to Caitlyn Jenner as a she.
Yeah, she.
Wow. You've come a long way.
I'm a changed man.
Well done. Well done.
I'm a changed, thank you.
Do you know what? I don't know if this is relevant or not, but I find it absolutely funny. So his father, who is now Caitlyn.
Yeah.
And he's marrying this girl who is actually Caitlyn.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I can't.
But she's Caitlyn with a K, isn't she?
Yeah, but even so. I
know, it's so strange.
It's so strange.
Weird.
Your dad is Caitlyn, your wife is Caitlyn.
Weird.
Good heavens.
Weird. And your dad's a woman now.
Let's not go
there. Your
dad
mom.
Sorry?
Your dad mum is now a woman. Awkward.
So who didn't turn up for the wedding apart from the obvious people? Like,
I bet his brothers.
I don't know.
His brothers.
I don't know who turned up. I only know people that didn't show up that were supposed to be there.
He's not that.
But his mom was there.
Oh, fair. That's a good
yes,
start.
and she was actually very pleased. Apparently, I just remembered now that she was posting pictures all over and was really pleased about the the ceremony. Ah, good heavens.
But Caitlyn was in Austria, though. At least they all have
That's
good
no
reasons.
excuse. That's
They
no
all have
excuse.
good reasons.
She's
not
known
to
about
be
the
there.
wedding, yeah. What? There's
No,
excuse
no,
not to
no,
be at
no.
your brother or son's
I think
wedding.
Caitlyn released a statement saying she had other engagements that
Yeah, but
were
I think that-
already
yeah.
there before the wedding came
wedding.
up, and she had to honor it. Yeah, so I think that's.
Oh, so they
fair.
must have known she
But
wasn't
for
coming for a while.
Kylie,
Yeah.
Kylie was
She's a nursing mother.
out.
Yeah.
No, she went out. On the day it was
She was
getting
on a
married.
date, wasn't she? Or
was on
something
a
like
date.
that.
No,
With
was she
Travis
on a
Scott?
date? No, no, she wasn't on a date. She went
Okay.
out to hang out with a girlfriend or something, and she was in the club. Kim Kardashian was posting pictures with some girls. I think they're in Wyoming with Kanye West, and yeah, basically.
So they genuinely did not go. 'cause
Yeah, they
didn't
just
want to
didn't
go.
go.
That looks bad on them, though.
Yeah.
I think the only person that has a good reason not to be there was Caitlyn, because she had other engagements prior to the wedding that she had to honor.
But I think all of them should have just rallied up and said, you know,
Yeah,
because
and
the
that's your
Kardashians
son.
are always preaching about family staying together, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like surprised that at least not one of them could
I'm
cancel
even surprised that Chris didn't go.
Exactly.
But their family's dysfunctional. You guys can't
Exactly.
compare them to the average family.
Well, true.
Do you think any of them will show any kind of remorse whatsoever about not attending?
Hell no.
If they haven't shown
Why?
any form of remorse to you now, I don't
They
think
posted
would.
pictures. That shows you they're not remorseful.
That's even so disrespectful. Like
I'm just really
they're not
shocked
even
at Kylie and
apologizing.
Kendall.
Like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't be there.
Yeah.
You're just posting pictures of yourselves having fun, and no, that's very disrespectful.
Yeah.
But can we, you know, just trying to look at all of the angles, can we try to be fair to them, perhaps, and say, all right then, you know, this wedding was taking place in Indonesia, somewhere, one of the islands.
Random.
Random, exactly. Although an exotic
That's no
location.
excuse
It's still no
because
excuse,
they have
yeah?
private
Yeah,
jets.
they can
go
go.
anywhere they want.
They
Oh,
can
there I
actually
was
go.
thinking I was trying to be fair on them.
Don't make a case for them. Tokes.
And do you think then, by any chance, that Brody will keep score based on this, that, you know, he might
Yeah, he
take
will.
If I
over?
was Brody, I would.
No, he will. Because if you watch the show, he's really like outspoken and
Yeah.
aggressive and doesn't really take nonsense. So he would definitely.
So the next big
But
wedding, he's not going to turn
You know
up.
what might be a shock to all of us? What if Brody never invited them?
But he said he didn't get their cards.
Exactly. He said he sent them invites, but he didn't get their invite.
And I believe it. It's something that they would do. Like,
he
we're
would
not
do-
going to his
Exactly.
wedding. Okay.
I'm sure they will address it this evening, so we should watch it. So
Yeah, watch this space.
Who?
we,
Who's going to address it this evening?
the
One
Kardashians.
of them.
No,
On
they
your
won't.
show.
They
We
won't.
don't talk
They
about
can't be bothered.
irrelevant things.
Wow.
Ooh, ouch.
Brody.
Sorry,
bad.
Brody.
And that brings us to the end of the morning edition of Tea Time. Join us later this afternoon for another fascinating episode of the program. But before we go, a big thank you, as always, to my co-anchors. Thank you very much, guys. And also to my entire production team. Until later this afternoon, I'm Disick saying have a good morning.